This is Kyle Madsen with your top stories on Sports 1140. Hey, it's time to plan your football playoff party treats. Start at your local Sprouts Farmers Market and Sprouts.com. The Sacramento Kings continued their winning streak last night with a 115-107 win over the Portland Trailblazers. Buddy Hield had a team-high 19 points. Bogdan Bogdanovic had 18 off the bench. De'Aaron Fox had 16 points to go along with 9 assists. The Kings are off tonight. They head to Charlotte to start a road trip against the Hornets. They start their road trip in Charlotte against the Hornets tomorrow. That's how that shit goes. Kyler Murray made it official yesterday. He declared for the NFL draft. That doesn't guarantee that he'll play football because he could still sign a major league deal with the Oakland Athletics, who drafted him number 9 overall in last year's draft. It's 8:04, and it's time now for the International Sportsman's Expo, Thursday through Sunday at Cal Expo. Get tickets at sportsexpos.com. Those are your top stories. Now it's time for the final hour of the drive on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Rise and shine, sleepyhead.
I'm not letting you go to work today.
Wait, what?
Everybody, listen up.
Welcome to The Drive.
Morning, morning, morning.
You're gonna talk.
Get on the phone at 339-1140.
Pretty awesome, huh?
Jump in on our text line at 441140.
Everyone is talking about it. You must know that.
The Drive starts now.
You know, speaking of the Athletic, Kyle, Zach Harper wrote some nice things about the Kings. He did the power rankings. We haven't talked to Zach in a while. Well, try to get him on tomorrow. What do you think? Shoot him a text. Get him on. Zach's a friend of the show. Local kid, too. Has some local roots here.
From Sacramento, not a Sacramento Kings fan.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Don't like it. Has a great dog, too. Little French bulldog named Boogie. Yes, named after, Boogie. Kyle, before...
His given, government name is DeBarcus Cousins, though.
NBA leaders in total points scored over the last month.
DeBarcus.
I want to get this
dog
through here. I have the top 6 NBA leaders in total points scored over the last month. Kyle, would you like to see how many you can get? I'll give you 3 wrong answers.
Okay.
Let me set
So
up
the top 3 scores over the last month.
Nope. Top 6.
Top 6 scores over the last 3 months. Top 6 scores over the last month.
That one.
James Harden.
That's
He's number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Curry.
Stephen Curry is number 5.
Give me Giannis.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Ooh, okay.
Your first strike, buddy.
Okay.
2 right, 1 wrong. Top 6 NBA leaders total points last month.
Total points.
Yeah, dude, total points.
So, points scored.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I'm trying to just grab the staples. Damian Lillard.
Damian Lillard. Strike 2.
It's 2. What about, I don't know. Luka Doncic.
Luka Doncic. No, that was, wow, you did worse than you usually do, Kyle. Hey, that's terrible. Was that embarrassing for you a little bit?
A little bit.
A little bit. Number 6, Anthony Davis, 416. Top 6 scores in the NBA over the last. I'm doing this for a reason. Top 6 scores in the NBA over the last month. Steph Curry, number 5 at 421. LaMarcus Aldridge, number 4 at 425.
I would have guessed all day and never gotten him.
Yeah, the 56 the other day, but yeah. Bradley Beal, number 3, 453. Number 2, Paul George, 461. Number 1 is James Harden. Now I want to repeat something.
Oh, no. Hang on. Can I guess how many points James Harden
Paul
scored?
George has 461 points. How many points does James Harden have?
638.
James Harden has 702 points last month. The second highest scorer is
That's outrageous.
I mean, James Harden is doing things right now. He's really doing things. And, oh, by the way, Clint Capella Clint Capella is out.
4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks. I don't know. I don't know how long James Harden can keep this up. I don't. But God bless him. I mean, he's doing some things. Yes,
He has a very 05, 06 Kobe vibe to it.
Dude.
Only these teams better. And he's going to make the playoffs.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I think the most insane part to me is he had the 2 for 17, 1 for 17 from 3?
Yeah.
The other night. And then follows it up the next day with 57. All right, cool, man. Really cool.
He had 36 before the half. Now, I hear everyone go, he sucks to watch. He's a flopper.
I don't find his game aesthetically pleasing at all.
I don't either. I really don't. I don't either.
But he is a monster. He is incredible. And if you need a guy to hit a shot right now, I'm not sure there's somebody else in the league you want other than James Harden.
From the 916, responding to the Athletic, the guy didn't want to pay for the Athletic. Shut up, Texter. Who cares if you're cheap? Shut up, Dave. We don't want you mocking cheap people. Well, I disagree.
It's a great point.
I disagree. Completely disagree. I got some clips from football yesterday. We told you that Antonio Brown wants to play for the 49ers, according to somebody that you probably should believe. His name is GOAT. You may know him as Jerry Rice.
If he comes here to San Francisco, he's going to do everything possible to help this team to win. If you can put a receiver on the opposite side like Antonio Brown, man, it can really take this ball game to a whole different level. And it sends a message to the fans that, hey, look, we're not looking down the road to win. We're looking to win right now.
He was asked if Antonio Brown wants to play here.
Do you get the sense that he would like to play for the 49ers?
Yeah. He wants to come here really bad. He's talking about running the hill with me, doing all that, and just working out, just picking my brain. And
what's interesting about that is that Antonio Brown had posted a screenshot on his Instagram, FaceTiming with Jerry Rice, I think it was 2 days ago. So they talked 2 days ago, and Jerry Rice is saying, yeah, he wants to play here. Question is, what do you give up?
Well, and we got to get to Grant here, but Antonio Brown has no agency in this at all. Where Antonio Brown wants to play doesn't matter.
Right.
That literally, the Steelers could not care less. They're not going to accommodate him.
No.
They're going to trade him to the highest bidder.
No doubt. Joining us right now, you said Grant, unexpected guest, and we love it because late night last night, let's be honest, and he's getting ready to go on a big 6-game road trip. I think his favorite trip of the year, as a matter of fact. And he joins us right now, the voice, TV voice of your Sacramento Kings. You can hear him 3 to 7, Monday through Friday, right here on the Sporty 1140. Good morning, Grant.
How are you, sir?
We were talking earlier, and really, I'm so glad you had a couple minutes for us because I'm very excited for you, and I want to know. We took some guesses as to what your travel plans were going to be. This is a 6-game road trip, but what's great about it, the best thing, is that the Kings play in Toronto January 22nd. That's a Tuesday. They don't play again until Friday in Memphis. So in those 3 days between Toronto and Memphis, what will you be doing?
Well, I will not be in Memphis. I can tell you that right now.
We win. We called it.
I absolutely will not be in Memphis. Let's make sure we have an understanding here. I will not be in Memphis until I absolutely positively have to be in Memphis, which, by the way, is the home of FedEx, when it absolutely positively has to be delivered overnight. I'm not even going to be delivered overnight. I'm going to be delivered about 3 hours before the game.
I was talking. I'll tell you off the air, but I was talking to somebody else who will be on this road trip last night. About we were laughing about this, and he said that he understands Minneapolis and maybe Milwaukee, but that you might be the only one in the organization that has Memphis dead last. They're all going to camp out, eat ribs for 3 days, catch up on some naps.
Good for them.
What is it about Memphis and our good friend Eric Hasseltine that bothers you so much?
I just don't care for it. I think it's just an awful downtown. I do not care for it. Now, I will say one thing. Last time I was there, or actually last year, Eric introduced me to a restaurant called Flight, and it's a great restaurant. I actually got to know the owner, and if I were in Memphis, that's where I would be going at night. But there's nothing to do in the downtown area. Again, I've never been to the suburbs, so I'm sure it's very nice, but I haven't been out to the suburbs. But downtown Memphis is horrible. It's the worst hotel that we stay at on the road. There's nothing that I enjoy about it. I really do not care for the city.
Well, I know that you enjoyed last night's victory and so many things out of that victory. The young kids on that front line getting more and more minutes, their ability to at least stem the tide of Damian Lillard, but most importantly, Grant, some numbers for you. 23 wins right now. They had 23 wins on March 16th of last year when they beat Golden State in Oakland. The consensus Vegas guess for wins this year was 25.5. They're at 23.
Wow.
It's a nice difference in less than a year.
And if the team stays healthy, that's a big if because you can't predict those things. With the way that Harry Giles is improving, with now Marvin Bagley back, this team actually should be better in the second half than they should in the first half,
Sure.
which means if that is accurate, this team would win a record with the first number of a 4. How about that for you? And again, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but I mean, I'm just trying to, visualize what I'm looking at with Harry Giles. I mean, how he's getting better and better every game. You saw Marvin Bagley last night with a double-double. He's the real deal. Again, there are so many encouraging signs for this team moving forward. I really believe that starting next year, and I'm not saying the Kings can't make the playoffs this year, I really believe this is going to be a 50-win team for many years to come. That's how good I think this team's going to be.
Grant Napear with us. We talked yesterday about Giles, but even before the game on this show, and said we kind of understand now why Garrett Temple and so many coaches and players last year, before we ever got a glimpse of Harry in a game, said he was already the best passer on the team. You see it now. There's something, you and I both are the same way. We get very nervous about the hype. And there's a long way to go for this kid, but you see it. I was noticing last night, even, he gets compared a lot to Chris Webber. It's like he even has, in his postgame, I noticed some of his mannerisms, the same mannerisms as Webb, and that's a very big comparison to get to now.
I know, he does.
But isn't it, it's insane how much this kid looks for the pass.
It really, it's funny. Doug keeps on mentioning this on TV, and when you see some of the things he does, it does take you back to Chris. I mean, it's pretty amazing. He's got some dog in him, as we all know. He's got that very infectious smile. Maybe not quite as good as Chris's. Chris had the $1 million smile, but it's just it's incredible to watch. It really is. It's just this kid is getting better and better, and knock on wood that nothing happens with his knees. But, we always like to go back in time and look at deals. Again, would you rather have Justin Jackson and Harry Giles, or would you rather have Zach Collins, right? I mean, I mentioned that on TV last night, that for the first time ever, they were both on the floor at the same time against Zach Collins. And no disrespect to Zach Collins, but give me Justin Jackson and Harry Giles. So, again, that's looking like another really good trade that the Kings made, which is, solidifying this team. How about the bench now of the Kings?
Oof.
They come off the bench with Yogi Ferrell, Bogdan, Justin Jackson, Bagley, and Harry Giles. That's your second unit right now. That's pretty darn good, isn't it?
That's not only is it really good, but I saw a graphic last night. The Clippers, by a pretty decent margin, have the highest scoring bench in the Western Conference. Your Sacramento Kings are second.
That's actually a perfect segue. Grant, I wanted to get your thoughts on Marvin Bagley and whether he should start, or do you think that he's best coming off the bench for now and he'll start eventually? Where are you at on that?
I think as long as the team is winning and playing at this level, I wouldn't change a thing.
Sure.
I mean, is he better? Is he one of the top 5 players on the team? Yes, he is. But again, this team is winning more than they're losing, so I wouldn't be in a hurry to change things up right now. It's working. Do I think he will be a starter and a long-term starter for the franchise? I absolutely do. But, here's another key. He was on the floor for the majority of the fourth quarter last night,
right,
and the starter, Bielitsa, was not. So, I think that's what players care about. Same with Bogdanovic. Bogey didn't start, but when the game was in the balance last night, he was on the floor for almost the entire fourth quarter. Again, that's what players really care about more than starting. Now, I believe Marvin wants to start. It's only a matter of time, but he is really good.
And to provide some historical context, Grant, and I think the bulk of Kings fans adore Coach Yeager, love him and love what he's done. But you hear about rotations, over-reliance on veterans, blah, blah, blah. For historical context, and you could speak on this better than I, if I remember correctly, Rick Adelman made Dave Yeager look like a rookie lover. And I remember very specifically fans were clamoring and screaming for Peja Stojakovic to get the starter of Corliss Williamson. And I think Peja was, by the midway point of that season I'm speaking of, clearly the better player. And Rick stayed with Corliss for the entire rest of the season and then ended up starting Peja the next year. So I don't know that Dave Yeager, to your point, bringing Giles and Bagley off the bench, at least for the rest of this season, is necessarily that far out of line with what most people consider the greatest coach in Kings history.
12 months ago, we were talking about why isn't De'Aaron Fox playing more?
Yep.
And until George Hill got traded, George Hill had been starting for the majority, right? And that's what we talked about. Is anybody calling up your show or my show, saying that was a problem? I mean, look at where De'Aaron Fox is now.
Sure.
Dave's doing the right thing. He is not a guy that believes in giving the keys to the car until you deserve the keys to the car. And it's worked. And De'Aaron Fox is a great example of that. There's nobody that's watching the Kings right now that would tell you that Marvin Bagley is not a real key piece of the Kings' future moving forward. Just watch him play, whether he's starting, whether he's coming off the bench, watch his development, watch how good he's going to become. Same thing with Harry, just watch these kids play. This is the present and it is the future, because pretty soon you're going to see a starting lineup of De'Aaron Fox with both Bagley and Giles, with either Bogey or Buddy, and, this team is going to be one of the most exciting teams to watch. They're already one of the most exciting teams to watch. I got to tell you guys, when I travel around the country, you wouldn't believe how many people come up to me telling me that they love watching us on League Pass because we're so exciting to watch. The national media, is watching the Kings play on a fairly regular basis. The Kings are now an exciting brand of basketball, and they're only going to get more exciting.
Do you get a little bit of a sniff, a little bit of a taste when you talk about going around the league? Does it, I don't want to say exactly, I don't want to overdo it, Grant, but is it a little bit like 1998, 99?
It's almost a mirror image of 98, 99, with this one exception. When the Kings flipped the switch that year and traded for Chris Webber and acquired Vlade Divac and drafted Jason Williams, with the exception of Jay Will, who was not a 19-year-old kid, that was a team that was now a veteran-laden team.
Sure.
Not old, but veterans. Whereas this team, we're talking so much about a second-year player in Fox, a rookie in Bagley, a rookie in Giles. Now, the rest of the guys are vets. I mean, Buddy now is a 26-year-old third-year guy. Bogey is of the same age. Shump is 28. Bielitsa is 30. They're vets. But the excitement of this franchise right now is centered around, really young guys. And I think that's the biggest difference between now and that era back then. But the brand of basketball is as exciting. Yeah, we don't have a Jay Will on the team, but we have De'Aaron Fox. And even though they're not similar, they're similar in terms of the excitement they bring every night. So that's great.
Grant, I got to tell you, the reason I like turning you guys on League Pass is for those broadcasters. I don't know if you know those guys, but if you ever run into them, let them know. Let them know that I enjoy them.
One of them wears a bow tie, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and he's bald. I'll look him up.
Yeah, if you run into those guys, let me know. Thanks.
Speaking of him, he's doing a hell of a job. I'm really so proud of Doug. I just, I really can't speak enough superlatives about how he has taken and embraced this role, which was gigantic shoes to fill of Jerry Reynolds. By the way, Jerry is going to be doing 10 games with me this year, and I'm super excited. But Doug has just been just great. I can't say enough about how phenomenal he's been filling the shoes of what are gigantic shoes of the one and only Jerry Reynolds.
Couldn't agree more. Honestly, couldn't agree more. We've talked about that a lot on the shows. Grant Napear joins us, and you and I were talking off the air yesterday. I know you've got a birthday coming up, and I was thinking about this, man. You got to be, remember, excuse me, you've got a redheaded son that happens to live with me. And,
yes, that's correct.
And I'm curious, I'm not going to say how old you're going to be, but let's just say it's not 25.
Right.
There's no gray happening, Grant. And I'm wondering,
there's no break, no.
Yeah, and
no,
and I've asked you off the air. You're not coloring the thing. I mean, that's natural, no gray.
Come on, man.
I'm helping you out. I'm saying we've talked about this off the air. I wouldn't blow you up like that. So you are aging hair wise, especially fantastically. And I'm wondering, do you know, as a lifelong redhead, is this something that I can tell my son he will have to look forward to, or
that's
are you
a great
unique?
question. That's a great question. I'm going to be 60 in June.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
And that is a great question because I wonder the same thing when I look at a guy like Bill Walton, right? He's now got gray hair and that mix of gray in it. So I just really attribute that to my beautiful wife, Mrs. Star Napear, who keeps me youthful. Now my face certainly doesn't look youthful, but my hair isn't turning green yet, or gray yet. So that's good. That's good. That's good. So I just attribute it to her.
Well, and I say this with all love and respect, and you know how much I completely adore your wife, and you and I both are in the Outkick the Coverage Club. But your wife, your wife looks like she's about to maybe bust 25, 26. So I don't know if that's rubbed off on you either. Because Lord knows you have reason to be gray, being the play-by-play guy of this team for the last 20 years.
Well, if I were going to be gray, it would have happened many years ago. That's exactly right. And I would have been bald, too. So I would have been some gray and some bald. So, yes, I am very blessed in that department. So if it was going to happen, it would have happened. That's exactly right.
Better chance, and we'll leave on this note, Grant, because you were nice enough to have me. It was a very big thrill for me to be a guest on the program with you and Doug the other day. So I'll ask you now that you're slumming it in the mornings, which would it take more money for the Future Foundation as a donation to get you? Which would need the bigger donation for you to do the rest of your games, maybe like the last game of the season, in a flat top, or to wear a bow tie to match Doug?
Oh, I would choose the bow tie.
Okay.
The flat top would require a lot more money. So see what you can, I'm not even sure how we would do the flat top. Can you give me a little, what would that require? Would that just be some creative gel, or would I have to go to the barber? You know what I'm saying?
I think you got to go to the barber, and that's why I said the last game of the season, because it's not fair to make you do you'd have to wait for it to grow out. But yeah, you would go. We would pay for a professional stylist. We're not screwing around with whatever.
No.
And you would get the cut, and they'd put the
shave the sides and keep it longer on the top.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna. I think I think that we're gonna go flat with the bow tie over the flat top. Okay, I'm just sitting here listening to you describe this, and I think I've made my decision, okay? All right.
Well,
it didn't really take me long. I think we're going to go in that route, okay? Is that all right with you?
Hey, listen, it's fine with me.
Because, here's the problem, all right? There are a couple of things. If I commit to that and the Kings make the playoffs, right?
Oh,
now
it's a thing.
And I've got my huge birthday trip coming up.
That's true.
And I don't want to. I'm gonna. You know what I'm saying. Come on. I can't. I don't know if Mrs. Napear will want to be traveling with someone with that type of hairdo. I might lose my wife. So I'll go bow tie. All right.
Hey, Dave's got an awesome white fedora you can wear over that hair.
Grant, am I?
So I'll send you boys next week when I'm in. I'll just tell you, I have a 6 a.m. flight.
Mm-hmm.
The day after the Toronto game, 3 hours and 20 minutes nonstop to Miami.
Nice.
So, So I'm not going to Memphis until I have to get to Memphis.
So you're going Toronto, Miami, Memphis, though Miami is not currently on the schedule.
Miami, literally the opposite of Memphis. It's just
That's correct. And that's going to be a temperature change of about 75 or 80 degrees.
Well, listen, not that that's a great segue or anything, but coming up in the next segment, the Coors Light Cold Hard Facts with Kyle Madsen. That's coming up at 8:35. We'll get to that. Grant, always great having you on the show, and I will be thinking of flat tops and bow ties for the rest of the day.
You're a piece of work. That's all I'm going to say, dude.
I'm sure I'm going to see something on my text here very, very quickly. Have a great day and have a good workout. You got a workout here coming up, right?
Of course, I'm leaving in about 20 minutes. Absolutely. You kidding me?
All right,
Come on
man.
now.
You got to get it. All right, you got to want it. You got to lift and be powerful and stuff.
Well, as long as I don't look like you, I know I'm doing good.
You're going to need a few more cookies at night, dude. See you later. Bye. It's Grant Napear. Seriously, Grant works out like 4 times a week. You wouldn't think about it. And he's not on the broadcast like we are here at the station, but wait till summertime rolls around and Grant starts breaking out. Like, I want you to visualize something. We'll go to break. Visualize Grant breaking out like a tank top and just bringing those Napier guns. Boom! That works out like 4 times a week. He's a lifter. His wife runs, I'm not even joking, his wife runs like seriously 20 miles a day. I'm not even joking.
It's unbelievable. There's one year we were up at the golf tournament in Tahoe and Star was there, and we got down to the course early for something, and he's like, oh yeah, Star's already run like 6 miles today.
He's not joking.
Like, what, in Tahoe?
Dude, she does a run. She does a run every year where she runs from like L.A. to San Diego and back. It's some sort of deal, and they run whatever the hills and trails are. And it's like, I'm fine.
Hey, do you know what I do?
What?
I watch some Padres and Dodgers games.
I would get tired following her in a golf cart on that run. We'll take a break.
Hey, it's time to plan your football playoff party treats. Start at your local Sprouts Farmers Market and Sprouts.com.
Well, when we come back, Coors Light, Cold Hard Facts. Brought to you by Kyle Madsen, right here on The Drive, Sports 1140 KHTK.
This is Kyle Madsen with your top stories on Sports 1140. The Sacramento Kings pushed their win streak to 3 games last night with a 115-107 victory over the Portland Trailblazers. Buddy Hield led the way with 19 points and 7 rebounds for the Kings. De'Aaron Fox added 16 points. He dished out 9 assists while Bogdan Bogdanovic poured in 18 off the bench. The Kings are a half game behind the Jazz for the number 8 seed in the West. Sacramento heads to Charlotte tomorrow to face the Hornets to kick off a 6-game road trip. James Harden's streak of games with 30-plus points extended to 18 last night when he had 36 points in the first half. He finished the game with 57 in Houston's... No, you heard me right. He finished the game with 57 in Houston's 112-94 win over the Grizzlies. And Kyler Murray made it official yesterday by declaring for the NFL draft. This doesn't guarantee, though, that he'll play football because he could still sign a major league deal with the Oakland A's, who drafted him number 9 overall in last year's amateur draft. It's 8:36. Time now for the International Sportsman's Expo, Thursday through Sunday at Cal Expo. Get tickets at sportsexpos.com. Those are your top stories. Now back to the drive on Sports 1140. Sports 1140 KHTK. Cable news voice.
To call the drive, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. You can also text them at 441140. They're ready to believe you.
If you really want to do the cable news voice, you know how it is. It's Kyle Madsen, KHTK. Who is it? Shelley Smith. Shelley Smith always used to say, I'm Shelley Smith, ESPN. Hey, qualify for the big game dream party in just a few minutes here. It's our next break. By winning tickets to Tap Into a Cold One, Folsom's Wintercraft Brew Fest, happening January 26th. Get your tickets at tapfolsom.com. Kyle, the big game dream party presented by Mel Rapton Honda.
Presented by Mel Rapton Honda.
Yes! Your chance to win a 65-inch TV, $2,500 in Lazy Boy furniture, and a $500 gift card to Sprouts Farmers Market. That was your key to me. Sprouts Farmers Market.
Sprouts Farmers Market.
Love them. Tune in at 8:40, 1:40, and at 3:40 all week long. When you hear the code word, you're going to hear it in our next segment here. Our next break. Text it to 441140. Enter it at khtk.com. Dude, seriously, what is going on? I can't talk today. I can't normally talk, but I really can't talk today. Enter it at khtk.com to qualify. Must be 21 or over to enter. From the 530 on the Jiffy Lube text line, loving the video cast on this Tuesday morning. Well, thank you. Thank you. And you can check out the video cast at khtk.com, brought to you by Jiffy Lube and the Sacramento Republic. If you're on a laptop or a desktop, go top of the screen, middle of the screen. If you're on a phone or a tablet. From the 916, why did you guys steal Don and Mike's tagline? You're talking about we're ready to believe you, as Don, who I used to work with, always said. If you steal from him, you're stealing twice. And if you haven't noticed, there are many, many things littered throughout this show, from music to taglines, that are all homages, if you will, to shows I've been on.
It's an homage.
Homage. Right now, time for your Coors Light Cold Hard Facts with Carmichael.
It's time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Fact of the Day. Here's Kyle Madsen.
Hi, Kyle. Good morning.
So Syracuse, unranked Syracuse, beat number 1 Duke at Cameron Indoor Stadium last night. They beat them 85-81 in overtime, I believe was the final. But that was significant because a number 1 ranked Duke team at home against an unranked opponent.
Ooh,
all
can
time.
I guess?
Do you already know it?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Just wanted to pull a Kyle.
Yeah, go ahead and guess.
They're probably something stupid like 90-0.
That's exactly what they were.
What?
90-0.
What?
As a number 1 ranked team at Cameron Indoor Stadium against unranked teams. They are now 90-1. Duke jumped out to a 12-0 lead. That game was on ESPN last night. Mm-hmm. And my timeline was like, Duke's going to win by 100.
Yeah.
Like it was amazing. After the first 4 minutes of the game, people were freaking out.
I know.
And they lost.
And Duke almost lost to my Florida State team. They had to make they hit a 3-pointer with time running out in Tallahassee.
I can't wait to pick Florida State to go way too far in the tournament like I do every year.
Hey, they did really well last year. They went very far last year. So
very far in the NIT.
They were a Final Four team last year.
Were they really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Were they? I have no recollection of that.
Kyle?
Oh, that's right, because you were going to go, but then you didn't.
Yeah, well,
that's right. Yeah, and that was the year I didn't pick them. See? Yeah. See?
They lost to Michigan?
I remember now.
I'm sorry. They were a Final Four team. They were an Elite 8 team.
Right.
They lost to Michigan by 4. I forget what the score was. And, yeah, I was going to go because they were in the Sweet 16, and I did not because I'm stupid.
Hey, I've got some professional bull riding tickets to give away. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that next segment, but I want to let everybody know that you can win a pair of tickets to see the toughest sports on dirt, professional bull riding at the Golden One Center on January 26th. By winning, you also qualify to be in the Shark Tank during part of the show. Get to be down there with Dave. Get your tickets and more info at khtk.com. We'll give those away in the next segment, so don't turn that dial.
Mm-hmm. All right, so some cold hard facts as we leave here. Let me find one more good one.
So my fact wasn't a good one? Cool.
No, I said one more good one, not a good one.
Oh,
one more in addition to your
okay.
good cold hard fact. James Harden scored 57 points against the Grizzlies. It's his third 50-point game this season. This is the fourth time in the last 10 seasons a player has had at least 3 50-point games in a year. The player went on to win the MVP in each of the previous 3 instances. So, again, fourth time last 10 seasons. I know we got a break, but you want to take a guess? Player went on to win the MVP, fourth time in the last 10 seasons, 50 points or more in 3 or more games.
Russell Westbrook.
Correct.
Stephen Curry.
Correct.
Kevin Durant.
No.
James Harden.
That's correct. We'll take a break. When we come back, hey, let's look at the old what's on tap, right? We got a little basketball tonight and some stuff.
I'll tell you what's on tap.
What?
There's playoff football this weekend. That's not quite on tap yet, but it's almost on tap. And you want to make sure that you have some treats ready. So it's time to plan your playoff party, your football playoff party treats. Start at your local Sprouts Farmers Market and Sprouts.com.
We'll take a break. Finish up the show next. Code word coming up in this break. Make sure you listen. Sports 1140 KHTK. What's on tap? Brought to you by
Bow ties.
Bow ties. Ugh.
.com.
I mean, I don't have a bow ties.
Wear one today.
When you don't want to wear a tie, I feel like for me.
Okay, I've got it.
Okay.
Have you ever needed to wear a tie to a formal event, but you're tired of that tie being dipped in whatever sauce is on the plate that you're eating?
There you go.
Bow ties stay out of the way, and they still look nice. Bow ties. Get one today.
Doug pulls it off.
He does.
But Doug can pull off. Like Doug just has he's got a cool
chameleon.
fashion sense. Yeah, exactly. I feel like Doug could wear a bolo tie and he'd look great.
Yeah. But so does Phillip Rivers.
I'm only wearing a bow tie if I'm wearing a tuxedo. You know?
Yeah, I think you and I are in that same. Although I have the bald head, and when I dress up, I curl the mustache, so maybe the bow tie would work with that look.
I just feel like for most people, bow ties are like. I'm gonna make people mad here, but
yeah, you are.
I don't care. Bow ties to me are like when people have face piercings. Like, express your individuality. Do what you got to do. It's all you. But you become all about that to me. When I'm looking at you and you're wearing a bow tie, I'm looking at the bow tie. When you have like
you
have an eyebrow ring or a lip ring or a
I
nose
disagree
ring.
Because a bow tie is not that outrageous. If someone's wearing a monocle, I'm going to be like, why are you wearing a monocle?
Yo, monocles are dope. That's what the kids say.
But a bow tie is not that outrageous to me. It's not that uncommon that I'm like, whoa, a bow tie.
I'm not equating a bow. Okay, so there's like bow tie, face piercing, face tat. Like that would be like the order of things that make it all about that. Mm-hmm. But it's just, it is kind of similar. Like if I see somebody with an eyebrow ring or a nose ring or a lip ring or the earring, the things with the make their lobes, the earlobes,
gauges.
Or the gauges, the big holes in their earlobes.
I totally disagree because a bow tie is not that like uncommon or noticeable to me.
I wouldn't say it's uncommon. I'd just say it's not common. Like I feel like, and again, Doug Christie's an exception here.
I wouldn't say it's uncommon. No. It's just not common.
I'm saying like. When I see somebody wearing a bow tie, it stands out enough to me to where I notice. When I see somebody wearing
that's interesting because I disagree.
So you're saying when somebody's wearing a tie or a suit and tie, for example, I don't ever go with, oh, they're wearing a tie. If I see somebody wearing a bow tie, I may not obsess on it, but I'm going to notice that it's a bow tie.
I notice more. If someone's wearing let's say just a black tie or a black bow tie, I'm not gonna notice the difference there. I would notice more over a black bow tie. I'd notice like snazzy, like colorful tie. Bow ties, get one today.
Bow ties, get one today. What's on tap tonight? Nothing. There's nothing on tap tonight. There's no football and there's no Kings game, so I really don't care about anything. But there is a full slate of games. Timberwolves and 76ers in Philly. That'll be semi-interesting, but the Pacers host the Suns. Who cares? Hawks host the Thunder. Who cares? Bucks host the Heat. Who cares? Oh, game of the night. Here we go. Warriors visiting the Denver Nuggets. The line on this game is...
They're in Denver?
In Denver.
Yeah, it's right because it's 6 o'clock. Denver minus 3.5. No, give him just 2.5. Give him Denver minus 2.5.
Final answer? You want to reconsider? You want to reconsider your original?
Denver minus 2.5.
2.5. The line on this game is even. Even. The line on this game is even. That is some respect. The Warriors got to be so hard to sit a line for. I could see the Warriors losing this game by 15, winning it by 15. I could see it being a close game. I could see it being a double overtime game.
They struggle in Denver, and they did even when Denver wasn't that good.
I feel like everybody struggles in Denver.
Yeah.
Denver's not an easy. You ever been to Denver?
Look for the Nuggets. If the Nuggets win tonight, though, make sure you're following their Twitter account. Their Twitter account's very creative and very petty. And if the Warriors win tonight, the Warriors would take back first place. And if the Nuggets win, they keep hold of first place by, I think, a full game and a half. So be sure to keep an eye out for that.
Chuff about your Warriors.
Talk about the Nuggets.
Matt Nagy.
Hey, caller's number. Let me get these. I want to make sure I get these tickets given away today. I had 2 pairs of tickets. You okay?
I'm fine.
Are you angry at me?
No.
Oh, are you actually mad?
Super mad about you giving away PBR tickets. Dang it, Kyle.
Callers number 4 and 5 right now can get a pair of tickets to see the toughest sport on dirt, professional bull riding at the Golden One Center on January 26th. By winning, you'll also qualify to be in the Shark Tank during part of the show, I believe, with Mr. Dave of Carmichael.
Yeah, by the way, that's not like, it's not where the Sharks play, and it's also, you're not like going into a tank with a shark.
Also, you're not going to be like on the show with like Mark Cuban.
That's also true.
And
yeah, you don't have to like present your idea.
Yeah.
Although that would be a cool prize.
That would be good. Hey, go to PBR after that, get dressed in your nicest suit, and bring an invention. Get your tickets and more info at khtk.com.
Congratulations to everybody texting in the code word, which was game, to 441140. I only saw one alternate, and that was Dame. I'm actually people are taking this very seriously, and they well should. From the 916, guys, ESPN2 has axe throwing on tonight. It's basically darts with an axe. I'm in on axe throwing. If I see axe throwing, if I see cornhole, and remember that game Slam Ball? I'm in for alternate sports like that. They're highly entertaining and good for the whole family. It's a good family thing. Although you do need to make it clear to the children that you should not be throwing axes. Who are you tweeting?
Nothing.
No, come on. I can go on Twitter and read it.
I wasn't tweeting anything.
You're texting?
No, somebody tagged me in a thing on Instagram.
Oh.
And I was seeing who it was because I didn't recognize the person.
How do you think, let's just say, I know it's not, but let's just say that your job enjoyment right now is a 10. Perfect 10. You love your job. How far down do you think that would go if you had to put your phone in a special case during our segments where you could not use it? How much do you think it would take away from your job enjoyment? 7?
None.
Oh, come on.
No, seriously.
Really?
Yeah. It's honestly, it's like a nervous tick. Like I'm listening. It's just,
I would like to see if you could go through a show.
Yeah, I could do that easily. I will leave my phone in there.
Leave your phone in here.
Yeah.
I want to see how that works.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying you got to do that. You can
no,
do
I'm going
to.
I'm going to.
I just want this to be like a test. See if you start sweating.
Dude, if I'm just over here, just like, I don't know, Dave.
Here's Matt Nagy, the head coach.
Hey,
of
we
the
have to go.
Chicago Bears, talking about Cody Parkey. He wasn't happy about Cody Parkey going on the Today Show.
Well, I found out. I don't even know the exact time that it was, but for me, and you understand that we always talk about a we and not a me thing, and we always talk as a team. We win as a team. We lose as a team, and I didn't necessarily think that was too much of a we thing.
Oh, whatever. Went on the Today Show. Relax. He's a pariah.
Do you know what Matt Nagy also said? That Cody Parkey has to be better. Actually, he said the Bears have to get better in the kicking department.
Good job, Matt.
So,
yeah,
we're going to throw the kicker under the bus.
Good job, Matt. Good job, Coach. Eunice always does a tremendous job. She has the worst job in the building, having to sit in a room and listen to us for 3 hours. Thanks to Kyle Madsen. Grant Napear joined us as a surprise. That was very nice. And thanks to all of you for listening. As always, the archives video available at YouTube on the KHTK YouTube channel. And you can download and listen to the audio versions of this program, all on demand on the KHTK app. We will see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. Jim Rome is next. Enjoy the rest of your broadcast day on Sports 1140 KHTK. Bye now.